Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Thursday. It is June 23rd. This will be our chart lesson for the day, and this is going to wrap up our lesson for the week as well. Um, Nothing crazy today. I mean, we had a really nice rally, to be honest, but the price action, nothing really crazy. We had a nice trend down, nice trend up, and our short-term ones all played out perfectly here, really. So nothing crazy yet. The polls were supposed to close at 4 my time today in Britain. But I don't think they're going to announce the results until 6:30 or something. So something may get crazy then. You can see we're really rallying here. So I don't know if that's indicative of what's to come. But so far it's been good for this market. Nothing, like I said, nothing out of the ordinary. You can see the two trends. Um, there were two measured legs up, then a correction, and then we bounced and had another trend going up all day, basically. So, um, a couple of you had asked me to back out more, but then I got some other comments that backing out that far makes it harder to understand. So, it's a little difficult to please everybody. So I'm going to try to find a happy medium. This looks probably about right to me because I agree when I backed way out, you can't see the bigger picture, and I think it makes it a little harder. The arrow is pointing at uh, the signal bar. That's all you really need to know is the signal bar, and as long as you can see the rest of the stuff, that's really the key to it. But you got to be able to see the big picture too, and so I think when I back out too far, because I felt like that myself, but I was just trying to do what people wanted. But then I got more comments and a couple of emails, people saying, "Hey, you were backing out too far and it made it hard to comprehend what was going on." So I'm going to try to keep a happy medium. But to me, this is about right because you can see the bigger picture and you can see the patterns. So to me, this feels about right. So this is what I'm going to stick with. And, if you want it further out or closer in, you'll just have to go with the flow, unfortunately, because no matter who I try to please, there's always somebody else that likes it a little different. So I'm going to go with what I feel comfortable with, and we'll make the best of it. So, okay, barely got started. I've already got interruptions. But let's talk about the trades. First trade I saw, it was well into the 7 o'clock hour. I don't think you want to go short on this first move up. I think you're better off to wait on the second entry, which comes here. And that is at, let's just see what time that. Yeah, just gonna put my marker on it. Yeah, first trade didn't come till after the 8 o'clock hour. So, and that's a doji, but you can see we're swinging down and we push through the EMA and we pull back and we do that double test. And this is really a double test of this level right here. So even though it's a doji, you really could have waited on this bar and let it break lower and then dropped a limit order back where you would have gotten filled, and look how it came back and it would have filled you. So it worked out great. Uh, but I'm almost okay. It would have to be almost green if it was right below that doji. Um, it would be real borderline though, but really I think you're better off to let it break below that one and then put your um, limit order back where you would have gotten filled on a stop there, and then see if it'd come back and get you. And it would have. It would have come back here and got you as well. So you would have got another opportunity. And again, this is, notice the new low, first entry, pull back, second entry. This is almost a repeat pattern of this, really. But we're all below the EMA and we're working lower. And this was a little confusing at first. At first, I had this um, down here, and maybe it was a spiking channel. It still works like that, and you can almost find it's almost like there's two channels working within one. So I kind of tightened it up after it kept coming up short there, and that would have helped you on this trade. But either way, notice that there's kind of all those matching highs across there. This is like a little failed breakout as well. It's a second entry. Um, it's a test of that trend line if you saw it that way, which is that's the way I was kind of looking at it by that time. And it's a quick, easy move. Then notice you get another second entry right here off the EMA. New low, first entry, second entry. This thing's just steadily moving lower. It actually pulls back here and creates a little trap. So you almost could enter. The only reason I didn't like this one is because uh, there's a lot of support right across there. But you really could make that one green. It's real borderline uh, to whether you'd want to enter there. But there's some reasons to argue for it, so I will make it green. Somebody actually suggested, he was kind of tongue in cheek, but I think there was some, uh, I think he was somewhat serious too, but he said I ought to come up with some different greens, whether it was just close to being aggressive, or whether it was super aggressive, or if you're just playing crazy. But I think that's just taking it too far. Really, anything I mark in green, you probably shouldn't take unless you're an extremely advanced price action trader. And if that's the case, you're probably not watching the videos anyway, so I don't think it matters. But there's people that will ask the question about them and say, what would you think about this? So instead of me having to go back and answer all those questions, I like to just go ahead and mark them green, and that way, you kill two birds with one stone. It doesn't take but a second, and then it reminds me to talk about it a little bit and explain why I think it's okay to take it if you want to be aggressive, but you're probably better off not to take it, that kind of thing. So I hope that makes sense. But here's another one long. Notice that we've got the channel here. It's real clear on the bottom where it's at. You can see it bouncing off of it every time. And look how far away we are from the EMA. Now, that's a long way away from the EMA. This one is not a long way away from the EMA. It's probably too far to go short. But I had somebody send me a question. He says, "Oh, it's a long way away from the EMA, and it's not even 4 ticks in there back to the EMA. If you can't scalp out before you get back, it's not a long way away from the EMA. So make sure you understand that. This one, you've got two points or better right there, so you can easily scalp out. It's an overshoot of the channel. There's really been no break of the channel yet, no matter how you drew it. So you had to be a little bit leery of it, so it is aggressive, but there's reasons to like that trade, and you get a nice reversal pattern. It's tempting to go long here, but this has been down for a long time, so you're still looking for a retest of the low, so you're better off just to keep looking for shorts at this point. And there's your second entry short. Look how bearish that is. Breaks higher turn. I would have liked it even better if I would have said I already had your stop in there just in case, and so as soon as it closed, it would have dropped on and filled you. It does pull back again. You actually get a failed second entry long here, so really you could have entered here as well. I don't know why I didn't mark that one, because I actually took that trade, and I actually talked with somebody else that went long there, and I was explaining to them that I actually went short there on that trap. I wasn't about to go long, so when the short set up, and it was pretty quick move, but it got just enough to scalp out, and then it bounced. And then you got, I don't have my line on here. I should. Well, y'all can slap me on the wrist for not having my line on there, because I'm always preaching to you guys to have them on there. And you can see that resistance across there. It's a failed break higher, big bearish bar, a little bit of ways from the EMA, but you're still looking for this retest of low. We're just kind of going sideways here, really. So, but that's a failed break higher. It's basically a double top as well. It's really more of this resistance right across here, and you can see if you drag your line across there that it just kind of continues across there. So that's a nice setup for a short, and I really thought, and you could have got a couple of points out of a runner here. I really thought we would go and make a new low, but it bounces. So draw your trend line right there, see what happens, and I don't think you want to go long there. You definitely don't want to go short here. You don't. If you're going short, you got to be back to a key entry point, and that would be at least back to the EMA, but hopefully back to a trend line or something. It would have worked, but I don't think you want to go long there. And Again, I don't really like going short here. It's not a good short setup because you got this trend line maybe coming up here. Um, it's not a very good setup. This bar was, but notice it never triggers. If it would have broke below that, I might have said take it, but it never does. So you really probably want to consider going long here because it's a higher low. You've made 3 higher lows in a row, and you got enough room to get out before you get back to here or here. And that turns out to be a pretty nice move. And then, of course, that you draw your trend line up through there, and then this pulls back and confirms it. So that's a sure long. It's also like a breakout pullback long from these two areas. Relatively bullish bar. It went lower first, so when it broke higher here, you could have just had a stop right there. It pulls back. It bounces off that line again, but look at all those matching highs. I think you're better off to skip that one. It would have worked, but 9 times out of 10 it probably fails. And then you get your close outside, 2 little legs to a new high, and where are they at? Right up there. If you copy this and drag it up, it's fitting perfectly up here. I don't. If it would have broke lower here, maybe, but I still think you're better off to wait on the second entry counting off the high, and that's just your first move, so it pulls back. You get a second entry here. It's not a great signal bar. It's only a tick off the low, but it's only about 3 ticks, so it's real low risk. You're expecting prices to probably come back to this trend line, and it takes on off pretty quickly until you get a break here. But notice your new low. You get a first entry, pull back second entry, and look at all those matching highs again. It's almost like a little small repeat pattern from what we saw earlier. It breaks higher. Even though it's got one green tick, it could have easily been, it's still a very bearish bar. Just go short there. Looking for it to come to here, and that's exactly where it kind of goes to. And it's bouncing long. You can't really go long on that second entry. That's too neutral. But when you get that trap, it tries to go lower again and fails and turns up. I like going long there. You might have let it break higher and use a limit order. It would have come back here and filled you a little further back. But sometimes you'll miss a really good trade here. So I like just going long there. But when it comes back and bounces, even though that's not a very good signal bar, I still like going long again. And then it turns back again, and notice it bouncing up that little shorter term trend line. And that one's really bullish, a lot more bullish. So I liked it even better. So you could have picked up 3 trades right there. All of them would have worked. And then it's 2 legs back. Well, that got you into the afternoon, to the 2 o'clock hour. But then you get another second entry long right here. It's not a very good signal bar, but then it pulls back and gives you this repeat pattern almost from right here. And look at it go. Where does it go? Right to the other side. But just before the close, it bounces. There's probably some news starting to come out here on this EU thing. So the market must like whatever the rumors are. But the old rule, buy the rumor, sell the news. It holds so true. That's one of the few quotes you hear that actually really mean something. We don't buy the rumor or sell the news. We follow the price action. But the rumor generally sets the price action, and when the news comes out, it does, it's all over by then. The smart traders are all trading the rumors and the price action, and the unsuspecting guys are waiting on the news, thinking they're going to learn, they're going to catch somebody doing something, catch a great trade, and they usually just get whipsawed. So, but anyway, not much else we can say about today. I'm not going to drag this out. It's going to be interesting to see what's going on tomorrow. If I'm probably not going to, if I come in and the market's crazy, I may not even trade. I may close up and leave. But if the market looks normal, I'll probably do my normal Friday morning thing and then be out of here as quick as I can. And so most likely no chart lesson tomorrow. If there's something really crazy going on and I'm still around the office and, I may upload something just to talk about it, but probably won't be anything till Monday. So I'll probably follow my normal Friday routine. So we'll just have to see. But I'm going to wrap it up for today. Pretty good trading day. And you can see how everything worked. Notice this trend line working up here. You get your close outside, move to a new high, down. Trend line moving up, close outside, move to a new high, moving down. Trend line coming down, close outside, move to a new low. And so all these short-term trend lines worked out. Here's one that's moving up. You get your close, move to a new high, and it sells off. Even this one. This one is more of a range light, but there's still a little bit of a trend working up there. I'd probably do it like so. It doesn't really catch that close right there. So it may be a little steeper. Like so. And then you get your close outside, move to a new high. But I still like that one because of that trend line right there. And actually, I think it was this one right here. If you have this trend line up here, that really alerts you to this move possibly back down here. It didn't matter. We didn't really take it until we got the trap here and a little bit of a trap there. So, but yeah, good trading day. Everything was relatively straightforward. Just remember, a lot of times when you get an overshoot like right here, you won't get a retest of the low. Sometimes it's because it's a range. You know, there's strong support. So obviously there was some pretty good support right along here, even though we dropped lower. But you know, a lot of times an overshoot will just lead to immediate reversal, and that's kind of what happened here. We tried to make a retest, but it couldn't quite get back down, and it just kept going higher. And we're making new highs right now as I'm speaking. We're back 13 points over 2100. So, you know, that's why you can't ever try to guess about the news. You don't know what the news is going to do to the market. You know, follow the price action and let the chart tell you and the actual price action tell you what the market's going to do. And that's the only way to trade it and do so consistently and be successful. Anybody tells you anything else is wrong. And not because I'm smart and I know better than anybody else, but I know that anybody that's making money can read this chart and they understand what the chart is telling them. It speaks a language. And if they tell you they have some indicator that works, I'd be very, very leery because I've never seen one that works, not consistently, that makes money consistently. The only way to make money consistently is to be able to read this chart and understand what this price action is telling you. And even then, you'll still have losses, but there'll be a whole lot fewer and farther between, and there'll be a whole lot less confusion. So keep that in mind. But I'm going to wrap it up. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.